Hi, Accounting 134 students. This is your teacher, Roy Kamida, and what you're looking at is my personal homepage that has lots of information, including courses I teach. Our class, Accounting 134, Income Tax Preparation. And right here, you eventually will see a link so you can replay this video. But the main links on my personal homepage are links to the course syllabus, class schedule, and a supplementary publisher's website. Now, I teach two sections this semester, one live and one online. And both sections will be submitting their work using the UH course management system called Laulima. So here's the Laulima site. I'll eventually show you all these web addresses, but right here you would type in your UH username and password. And when you enter, the first thing you see is a My Workspace screen. And each tab up here represents one course that you currently are registered in, including our Leeward Accounting 134. Again, both sections will be using this site here. And the first thing you see, this picture, is a customized cover of our textbook we use here at Leeward College, our tax textbook. So make sure you get it from Leeward College, and I'll tell you why. There's other things packaged in it. Again, my name is Roy, and here is the easiest way to get a hold of me. Email address is kamida@hawaii.edu, and I try to reply to students within an hour. Or if you want to give me a call, here's my office phone number, and if I'm not in, you can leave a voicemail message. Eventually I'll have the video, also this video relinked over here so you can replay it. So the main thing I think you should be reading here on the home page is how to study each chapter. So I'll repeat this throughout the whole semester of all the different things you should be doing when we go through each assigned chapter. Off to the left side of the screen are a listing of tools or folders. The first one here is announcements under the home button. Announcements, I'll be emailing you every week something called a class message. And make sure you check your hawaii.edu email or have it forwarded to whatever email service you use. And whatever email I send to the whole class will also be listed here under the announcements listing on the right side of our homepage. And if the list gets really long, eventually the old messages you would have to access here in this announcements folder. Assignments, most of the work you turn in will probably be through the assignments, not all but most. So eventually I'll tell you to go to the assignments folder either to read instructions to upload your work. Chapter folders is probably the main reference you're going to be using throughout the whole semester, and I'll get back to that. I may ask you to post up a couple discussion items here during the semester. All three exams are going to be taken here in this exam link. Here, if you want to email me, instead of going to your regular email service, you can go here, and it'll be done through hawaii.edu when you use this mail tool. Publisher's website, we'll take a look at that in a minute. Here's a link back to my home page. For all graded activities, I'm eventually going to post up the scores here in the scores folder. Maybe the day after something is due, the score should be posted here in this folder. So go ahead and double check your scores periodically just to make sure I have the correct points posted. Let's take a look at this course syllabus and schedule link and open up the syllabus. Again, our class is Accounting 134. We have two sections this semester. One is a live class meeting held on Tuesday, Thursdays, 12 to 1:15 in room BE229. And the online students, you're not required, but you always are welcome to attend our live class meetings. And we're on the same schedule, both classes. Again, my name is Roy, and my office hours is just before the live class meeting. I'm in room BE206 in the same building as our class. Here's how you get to our Laulima website, laulima.hawaii.edu. And here's the address to my personal homepage, sites.google.com/a, another slash hawaii.edu, and one more slash followed with my last name, Kamida. But one more time, here's the easiest way to get a hold of me. I'll let you read the course description on your own. Let's take a look or talk about our textbook. Here's the title. Again, we have a customized version for our Leeward tax class. You got to make sure it's the 2013 edition. Let me write this out. Even though the textbook says 2013, what we're learning in our class this semester is 2012 tax rules. We're going to be preparing 2012 tax return forms. But when the book was published, and even right now, the U.S. Congress is so far behind that most of what we see in the book and online is 2011 tax laws. Some of the videos I have posted up right now, some of the tax forms are posted up in our class site, are based upon this old laws. And most of the old laws still apply to 2012, but not all. So as the semester progresses, I'll be updating our website here at Laulima for 2012 rules. And again, not 2013, even though that's what our textbook says the edition is. Now, when you buy your textbook from the Leeward College bookstore, packaged with the book, I think it's loose leaf, has 2 volumes. Packaged with the book should be a CD where you can install a tax preparation software called TaxAct. This is only usable on Windows-based computers, but I encourage you to use software to prepare tax returns for our projects. Makes life much easier for students and the teacher. And if you don't have tax software, I'll show you an alternative called fillable PDF files. And even if, let's say, you have a Mac computer, I may encourage you to buy software that you can install on your computer so you can prepare multiple returns. We'll prepare about half dozen returns during the semester. Now, if you use online services to prepare returns, you can only probably prepare one return for yourself, and you cannot prepare any so-called dummy returns that we're going to be doing for our class. So again, I encourage you to either use a software package with our textbook or buy something that you can install on your computer. Not online service now, but on your computer, so you can prepare multiple returns. Whenever someone asks you, what did you learn in any class? What you should do is break out the course syllabus like we're looking at, and specifically look at the listing of student learning outcomes. So these are the things you should be able to do after completing this class. So how do you get your grade? Well, during the semester we're going to have 3 exams. Our first exam is going to be after we finish chapter 3, here worth 100 points. Probably each exam is going to have something like 33, 34 questions, each worth 3 points for a maximum of 100 points. Most of them probably will be multiple choice questions. Then we finish chapter 5, we have our next exam. And we jump to chapters 9 and 11 in our textbook and do our last exam. There's probably 15 chapters in our textbook divided up into 2 volumes. So if you want to get the most out of your textbook, again, we're in accounting 134 this semester, and these are the chapters we cover. But if you want to cover the rest of the chapters in that same textbook, what you can do next semester is continue into the next tax class, accounting 137. This is business income taxes. We learn very little business related tax issues, mostly personal, here in 134. But at Leeward's tax classes, you have to take 134 and complete it with a grade of C or better before you take accounting 137. And again, here at Leeward, we use the same textbook, so you can save money by continuing into 137 next semester. Another graded activity are projects, basically preparing tax returns. So maybe this first project I'll have you do about 4 tax returns for a total of 150 points. In the second project, it's a little bit more complex return, so we only have you prepare 2 returns. Here again, still 150 points. And one more graded activity every week. I'm going to probably require you, maybe not the first week, but from the second week, I'm going to require you to turn in every Friday evening, a weekly assignment. And I'll give you at least 1 week's notice of what the assignment is. Could be a quiz, could be completing a simple form, could be posting up on a discussion board, each worth 10 points, so another 150 points. So the grand total points for the whole semester is 750, and you scale that on a standard curve. Here 90% and above would be an A, 80 through 89 would be, and so forth. I'll let you read on your own more detailed information about the graded activities here and other policies or rules for our class and campus. Okay, so this is the course syllabus linked over here with this link. Let's take a look at our class schedule. So the class schedule is divided up by weeks. So the first 2.5 weeks we're into chapter 1. Here during the second week, again every Friday, let's say Friday by 11:55 p.m. you're going to have to submit your weekly assignment work. Each weekly assignment is worth 10 points. So after we finish chapters 1, 2, and 3, then we're ready for our first exam. I give you a 4-day window. I believe February 22nd is a Friday and February 25th is a Monday. So over that long weekend, you have one chance to take the online exam. Once you start an exam, you have a 2-hour period to complete it. You gotta do it in one sitting though, but you have a 4-day window to start your exam. And then we start our first project, continuing into the next chapters. Again, weekly assignments due every Friday. And here, about 3 weeks, your first project is due. And here's the second exam, again over a 4-day period, a 4-day window. And at the very end of the semester, our last exam and last project, here again totaling up 750 points. So what you can do is either save this file. You can probably open it up in a spreadsheet and put your points in this column here so you can track them compared to the maximum. Also save the syllabus or print it out. Again, both linked over here under this link off to the left side of our Laulima homepage. Let's take a look at chapter folders here. So for each assigned chapter during the semester, you'll have one folder in this listing. So let me try opening up chapter 1, and what you'll see, besides the chapter objectives and quiz and review question link, are 2 subfolders for chapter 1. One called handouts and one called videos. So let me open up the handouts folder. So here are all different handouts, PowerPoint file. Here's probably the main one you want to use. These are the solutions to all of the problems. Well, most of the problems, not all, because some may be assigned as a project. The solutions to end of chapter problems here for chapter 1. So let's try taking a look at it. It's a big PDF file. So definitely you want to be able to go through the question and know the answer. And what I'll do is I'll probably make some videos out of some of these problems, not just to show you the answer, but what is the process of getting to the correct answer? What's the thought process you should be thinking of? Or how to figure out how to calculate out the answers. Okay, definitely the multiple choice question is something you want to go through. Okay, so these are the solutions to the end of chapter problems, and I have one for every chapter. So here are links to forms and instructions, some handouts I've made that I probably include in my video lecture for each chapter. And for those of you who do not have your textbook yet, the publisher offers a free chapter 1, a PDF file. So it gives you time to purchase your textbook Again, we're going to be covering chapter 1 in probably the first 2.5 weeks of the semester. So let me go up to the previous level here for chapter 1. We just came from this handouts folder. Let's take a look at the video subfolder. So here are links to lots of videos. Some I just recently made, some I cannot make because the laws haven't been updated, so I show some older, last year's 2011 videos. Let me try playing one here. Some are based upon YouTube, loaded at YouTube.
Hey class, this is Roy.
Like this one, I clicked on the pause button, and if you know YouTube, you can kind of scrub to different screens. You can actually see I draw, and then you can start replaying.
Taxpayers' taxable income for the year.
Maximize.
Would find their filing status. So let's say they're single.
Escape to get back
unmarried.
to the restore size. So pretty nice compared to a live lecture where you cannot pause and say, tell the teacher stop and repeat. Well, you can do that, I guess, but here it's more convenient. Some videos are based on Flash versions like this one. So if you have a Mac that cannot play Flash, I typically have a non-Flash version also. Again, this is kind of dated because the rules haven't been updated yet. The tax laws haven't been updated as of the beginning of the year. Okay, so let me go back up to the chapter 1 folder. We just came from this video folders. Now, I'm probably going to assign this multiple choice quiz for every chapter as one of the weekly assignments. So let me show you how to work it out here. So let's go through a couple questions. The tax rate is applied against the tax base to determine the amount of tax liability. Tax liability, tax base, tax rate are all terminology we're going to be learning here in chapter 1, and I believe this is a true statement. So I'll mark it true. Let's try the next one. The average tax rate is the taxable income divided by the total tax liability. They got this backwards. Should be tax liability divided by the taxable income. Again, this is a formula we're going to learn in chapter 1. So even though it's false, I'm going to mark it true. And if I scroll to the bottom, here is a submit button. So when I click on it, here's a summary. Oh, I should have marked it false here. Let's go back. Back button here. Back. Let's try this again. Publisher's website. I just closed out my Laulima browser, but I can access the publisher's website and pull down the chapter I want. Here's the multiple choice quiz I want. I said this is true, and then let's say I put this true even though it's a false. Then I go back down and submit, and you can see a summary. 1 correct, that's this one. 1 incorrect, that's this one here. And then 18 unanswered. All the rest of the problems down here are unanswered. Now I know some students just mark in any answer and then submit just to see the green check marks and then redo it again. Okay, that's not really learning. And I see a couple of students doing 2 chapters in like about 5 minutes. Definitely not even reading the questions. Okay, the purpose of this quiz is a learning activity, and you can do it over and over again until you get it perfect. Okay, and you learn the material, and once you have a perfect quiz, then you can email it to me here at the bottom. Okay, that's kamida@hawaii.edu, and you would definitely want to email it to yourself here so you get a copy. And here, make sure you put in your name so I know it's coming from you. And sometimes students may mistype my address, so I won't get it and you won't get any points. But you'll have a copy here emailed to you as proof, and you can send it to me later, timely. Make sure you check the scores folder to see I have your points posted. Okay, and I'll ask for this multiple choice quiz as a weekly assignment. So you can send it in early, but don't send it in late. Okay, I'll tell you when it's due. Another link would be review questions, and basically the same thing. I'm not going to probably require you to turn it in, but definitely you should be going through this at the end of the chapter, and definitely to review for an exam. Okay, I need to log back into my Laulima here. Our Accounting 134 class. Okay, I just came from this multiple choice and review questions. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about taxes. So what we're learning is income tax. Sorry, where's my pen? Income tax. The correct term is really called net income tax. Net meaning you're going to subtract something out. So to calculate the tax for our semester, our class, you first have to know what is gross income. Here's all the money you made during the year. But you get to reduce this by something called expenses or deductions. So these are things you're going to be learning during the semester. Okay, gross minus deductions equals net income. And then we tax that net income. So the more gross income you have, the bigger this number and the bigger tax you're going to pay. The more deductions you have, the smaller this number, net income, and the smaller the taxes you pay. So we spend a lot of time defining gross income. We spend a lot of time determining deductions. Okay, so this is a very, very simple formula here. Again, we're learning income taxes or net income taxes during the semester. But you also pay other types of taxes besides income taxes. So every time you go to a store, don't you pay a sales tax? Or here in Hawaii, the correct term is called general excise tax. Or let's say that you buy a plane ticket or you buy a bottle of liquor. There is a federal excise tax that you have to pay for those items that's built into the price. Or let's say that you're very wealthy and you pass away. Well, sometimes you hear the term death tax, or the correct term is called estate tax. So let's say you want to get away from paying estate tax and you're so rich, you can give money away when you're living. Well, they catch you there by charging you a gift tax. Yeah, these apply to people with maybe more than $5 million of assets. For some of us, maybe our main goal in life or financial goal is to own real estate, a home. Well, there's real property taxes you have to pay the county government. Or definitely if you have a job, besides income taxes, you may be paying social security tax, FICA, Medicare tax. Okay, so our focus during the semester is income tax, not these others. In the case of Social Security tax, payroll taxes, you may want to take accounting and general excise tax. You may want to take accounting 132 on any of the campuses, UH campuses. This is payroll taxes and Hawaii general excise tax. Our focus is income tax, basically federal laws. But if you also want to learn Hawaii, I'll provide you some differences between federal and Hawaii throughout the semester. If you don't want to pay state taxes, maybe you want to be a resident of a different state, like Texas, Florida, Alaska, a couple others don't have income taxes. They probably have sales taxes or some kind of business tax to fund their government. Even some cities, like New York City has a income tax. Okay, so if you live or work in New York City, you pay a federal, state, and city tax. Again, we're focusing on federal, and I'll point out any differences between Hawaii and federal throughout the semester. Okay, if you have any questions, you guys know you can contact me at my email address or come to the live class meeting Tuesday, Thursdays, 12 to 1:15. Okay, so I'll see you guys online or in class.